Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Yo soy Laxey y hoy no voy a jugar, voy a reaccionar al directo de hoy del 6 de noviembre. Que pues según nomás va a ser el moveset de Terry. Ok, el directo en realidad estuve en vivo a las 5 de la mañana. O sea, hace un poquito más temprano. Y ni de coña me iba a despertar a esa hora. Entonces no abrí Facebook, no abrí nada. Me metí directamente a YouTube a buscar este video. Entonces todo esto va a ser la primera vez que lo vea. A ver, ahí vamos. 48 minutos.
Hello
everyone, this is Masahiro Sakurai from Sora Limited. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game was recently honored with 5 awards at this year's Japan Game Awards.
Okay.
It's received a great many awards on top of that as well. Each award is very meaningful to me, so I would like to take the opportunity to extend my thanks to all those who have voted and to all those who have supported us.
Y se merece más
Thank
todavía.
you so much. Without further ado, let's begin the presentation.
Ok, empecemos.
First, we'll start with what the Neo Geo is. It refers to a 1990 video game console for use in arcades and at home, as well as to the name of the system itself.
Uf, todos los mexicanos y
In
latinos
1990,
sabemos
the
eso.
equivalent to the
Sabemos
Super
qué es.
NES had only just released in Japan, so if you wanted to play arcade games at home before then, the only option was to play the less polished ports on the Nintendo Entertainment System. However, with the Neo Geo system, you could play the arcade versions of games at home with no drop in quality. 1990 was right around the year that I started working.
Yo nunca tuve la Neo Geo, pero
Back then, Japan had rental services
Si hubiera
for
vivido
arcade games. In
en
other
esa
words,
época.
you could go to a rental store, rent an arcade game, take it home, and play it.
o tal vez sí estaba, pero
After
yo ni
that,
cuenta.
they were sold for home use, but a single game would cost about 30,000 yen. But compared to playing a game in the arcade 300 times at 100 yen per play, you're getting your money's worth. At the time, some people actually thought this was cheap.
El Sakurai y sus
There
chistes.
really are people who play
Es un
games in the
stand-up esta
Super
madre.
Smash Bros. Series 1,000 or even 10,000 times. Anyway, the NBS, as it was called then, was sold in
Su
various
risa está
places,
bien
and
perra.
for an arcade machine, it wasn't all that expensive. You could also get them on lease. That's why you'd end up seeing lots of candy stores having a Metal Slug
Está
cabinet.
explicando todo esto para los gringos incultos
The home version
que no
of the Neo
conocían
Geo
nada de
uses
esto.
this controller. Can you see?
Nah, no es cierto.
It has 4 buttons. And this is the actual console itself. Here is the reset button, and here you slot in the big game cartridges.
Sí.
This is the Neo Geo. Just kidding. Actually, this is the Neo Geo X, the portable version that was released afterward.
No sabía eso.
You could also insert it into this docking station and play it as a home console. Beat Nintendo Switch to it. A portable, multi-purpose console. Updated iterations of past systems are emblematic of the Neo Geo.
Ok,
Next,
ok, ok.
let's talk about what Fatal Fury is. It released in 1991, the same year as Street Fighter II, but this one came later. It launched after Street Fighter II. Like many of the other fighters, Fatal Fury was often regarded as a title that was developed to capitalize on the popularity of Street Fighter II, but that's not really the case.
De hecho, a mí me gusta más Kingdom
Actually,
Fighters
both Street
que
Fighter
Street
II
Fighter.
and Fatal Fury were developed using the original Street Fighter as a foundation. In fact, the development of Fatal Fury was started by one of the planners of Street Fighter. Did I just hear you say, wow? This one is also a multiplayer-focused fighting game.
Claro, claro.
In this story, someone named Jeff Bogard is killed by Geese Howard. Geese Howard starts up a fighting tournament in Southtown, which he runs. To avenge
No
his
lo jugué
father's
mucho, pero
death,
eso
Terry
sí sabía.
enters the tournament, which is known as King of Fighters. I mentioned the term King of Fighters, something you may have heard before. Yes, there's actually a popular series called The King of Fighters, and that series was named after the fighting tournament within the world of Fatal Fury. And Terry Bogard, who is the protagonist of Fatal Fury, also appears in all the games in the King of
güey,
Fighters
yo quería
series
Yori.
as one of the main characters.
Chale.
If you want to play a game from either of the Fatal Fury series or the King of Fighters series, many of them are available now on Nintendo Switch as part of the Arcade Archive series. You may not know which one to play first, but my recommendations from the Fatal Fury series would be Fatal Fury Special.
Es que siento que King of
From the
Fighters
King of
fue más
Fighters series,
famoso que
my
Fatal Fury.
recommendation would be
No,
the King
creo,
of Fighters
no sé
95.
seguro.
But if
pero
you want to
sí,
play a
pero-
fighting game with all sorts of strategic elements, then I recommend the King of Fighters 98. Next, I'll give you some insight on Terry
Power.
BOGARD.
Wave.
Actually, this video was recorded about 1 month prior to its release. That's because we need to translate and edit videos like this one, and that takes time. The game footage you see here is not from the final production ROM, so please understand that there may be some elements that differ from the final game. Since we have the opportunity, I want to talk about Terry using a lot of SNK lingo, meaning in this discussion the younger generations may feel a little out of the loop. But there's nothing to worry about. When we released the original Nintendo 64 version of Super Smash Bros., I was often asked, who is Samus? Whether or not the character is fun to play as is more important than whether the character is new or old, or whether the character is recognizable to everyone.
No,
I
sí.
want to make sure I
Tiene que haber
present
que ser
Terry to you
reconocido.
in such a way that you can fully understand his appeal. So thank you.
Mercadotecnia.
Okay, let's begin.
Bueno, obviamente también tiene que ser divertido, pero aquí vamos, aquí vamos. Ok.
This is Terry BOGARD in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's still wearing an outfit that reflects the era of his original game, but we did our best to make him look cool in a variety of ways. When he stands next to Ryu, it almost makes you wonder, is this really a Super Smash Bros. Game? Doesn't it?
Ya sé.
Just like Ryu, when you're playing one-on-one, he'll face the opponent. Actually, he always looks in the opponent's direction. Even if you move him to a location behind the opponent, he'll quickly turn around, always keeping his focus on the opponent.
Igual que
Let's talk
Ryu y
about his
Ken.
moves. His neutral attacks are jab, body blow, and
Okay.
high kick.
Ok.
Each move is something familiar from the Fatal Fury
Por
series,
favor, que tenga la barra.
and his dash
Que
is
cuando se
powerful.
sube, sea más potente. Mientras más alta esté, más
This is a
potente.
move you
Por
can
favor.
use in Real Bout, Fatal Fury Special, and others. In the
Okay,
original
dash
series,
attack.
it was one of his special moves. His tilt attacks are middle kick, rising upper, and underkick. Compared to Ryu, his attack speed is slower.
Oye, es casi lo
This
mismo.
is to
¿no?
match his original series.
A ver, bueno, va a ser muy diferente. Yo lo sé.
Now for smash attacks. First up, backspin kick.
Ok.
This smash attack is the equivalent to his
F-
strong
F
attack,
smash.
but the motion is even cooler than in his original series. Next, wild
F
upper
smash.
and slide kick. Both are from the original series. Then his mid-air moves.
Por favor, que sea
Jump
high tier.
and chop.
High tier.
Jump, then
Okay.
kick. Jump, then backward kick. And then somersault kick.
Se ve perro eso.
However, this somersault kick was not included in the original series,
Ah, ok.
but we needed a move to attack up, so we created a new
Te lo
move.
inventaron. Está bien.
Also, jump and then karate
Eso es igual
for a down air attack.
que el
If
de
you
ese vato,
successfully
que
pull
le
off
que
a
me
down
río.
air, it's possible to attack with a meteor,
Es lo mismo.
as you can see here. It's
También
basically
puedes
like Ryu's.
spikear.
Next,
Sí,
I'll cover his
igual que Ryu.
throws. His forward throw is his familiar buster throw. His back throw is also buster throw. And his down throw is neck breaker drop.
No, se ve perro eso.
In fact, he used it in the game Fatal Fury Wild Ambition. I miss playing that game on Hyper Neo Geo 64.
Shush.
And then, his up throw is grasping upper. This sort of dodge attack can be performed after a spot dodge. I mentioned dodge attack, and this actually does exist.
Dodge attack.
During a spot dodge, immediately press the button to counterattack. During a dodge attack, your upper body becomes invincible, so this kind of move gives you the advantage when you counterattack. Now for his special attacks.
Ok.
His neutral special,
Neutral
with
B.
just the B button, is
Power
Wave.
Wave. Power Wave. Redo. No sé qué
Depending
dice,
on how
pero
long
bueno.
you press the button, you'll use one of two types of special attacks,
Wow, huevo.
weak and strong. This
Como-
one is weak
como
and kind of
Hero.
slow, and this one is strong. Fast, isn't it? For Ryu, in his original game, you used 3 buttons, so there were weak, medium, and strong attacks. For Terry Bogard, you could use 4 buttons in his original game, but there were only 2 buttons for punch, so that's why he only has 2 attack levels, weak and strong. This rule applies to all of his special attacks, so please keep that in mind. By the way, the attack Power Wave is a move that shoots energy along the ground, but how does it look in the air? In his original game, you couldn't use this move in the air. This is how it looks now.
What?
As of the King of Fighters 96, the Power Wave ability had a shorter range, so we've recreated that version of the move. It's a useful move in midair and helps keep opponents in check. Next, we have a special performed while holding in the direction of your opponent, Burning Knuckle. This move also has a weak and strong version, as well as a command input. Like the Hadouken command input from Street Fighter 2, you perform this command using the directional inputs, down, to the side, in the direction of your opponent, and then press the button. Doing so makes the move a bit stronger. This means that Burning Knuckle has 4
types.
Weak without command input, and strong without command input. Weak with command input, and strong with command input. The strong version using the command input is of course the most powerful. You'll hear a noise when you input the command. And if you've succeeded, you might also notice some green mixed in with the flames.
Okay.
It may be slight, but there is a difference.
Y es fuerte,
The strong
¿o qué?
version
¿Cuánto
of the
quita?
command input really is strong, even capable of KOing opponents.
Ni
It can be
siquiera,
blocked,
no vi
however,
cuánto le quitó.
so be on the lookout for that. In such a case, you'll be left wide open. And this is a first for the Super Smash Bros. Series, but the side specials are split into 2 versions, a back special and a front special. That means there's one more side special than usual, Crack Shoot.
Okay. Oh, es la primera vez
This
que...
is a familiar move from his
¿Qué es
original
eso?
game.
Está
There's
perverso.
also a command input version. It's performed by using the directional buttons down to the back, followed by the A or
Ahora,
B
ahora,
button.
para atrás ahora. Va a ser esa misma pero más potente.
The command version can launch your opponent quite a bit further.
Esta perro.
It creates a bit of an arc, so it can be used as an anti-air attack when your opponents try to hit you. At close range, if you happen to be blocked by a shield, it's hard to be counter-attacked because you'll pass through them. There's something I want you to remember.
Pero no gastas energía entonces o algo.
When you do a crack shoot off screen, this is how it will look.
Si te matas.
Terry swings with his whole body when using Burning Knuckle and Crack Shoot, so it can be hard to recover. However, if you keep pressing backwards without inputting commands, you should be able to initiate Crack Shoot in the direction you're trying to recover.
Okay.
Let me show you one more time. Do this, then continue to press backward,
Okay.
and then you can recover. If you press too quickly or input some commands, you'll fly right off the stage, so be careful.
O sea, ahí te mueres. Sí.
And this is his up special,
Ah,
Rising
di, a
Tackle.
ver, a ver, a ver. Okay.
It also has weak and strong versions, each with differing
Tiene un
types.
poquito de rango. Bueno, hay strong version.
And did you notice that if you hold down briefly to charge, your whole body glows a little?
Okay, okay. Pero también
In
en
this
el
case,
aire.
your whole body will be invincible at the start. Either way, your legs will be invincible. Here's an example of this
Se parece al
invincibility
de
in
Samus.
action.
Ese upbeat.
With the standard Rising Tackle, I got completely wiped out when I threw myself at them. But with Rising Tackle's charged command version,
Tiene que estar cargado para que sea invencible.
you can't be hit at this moment, so you come out on top.
Se parece al el
You can of course
upper
use Rising
de
Tackle
Samus.
as a recovery as well.
Pero se puede, okay. Bueno.
Even after using Burning Knuckle or Crack Shoot, you can still use Rising Tackle. This is also very helpful when you're trying to recover, so please keep that in mind. His down special is Power Dunk,
Power Dunk.
an attack that rises and descends.
Vaya. Pensé que iba a ser Power
This side
Geisha.
down diagonally down command input is also known as the Shoryuken command. If you can pull it off, you'll be invincible at the start of the move.
No, yo creo que su ultimate va a ser Power Geyser.
Also, you can hear a sound when it connects,
Power
but it
Dunk.
might be tough to make out.
¿Eso existía en el juego?
Now, let's talk about
Ni me acuerdo.
canceling specials. I'd really like you to keep this in mind.
Ok, se pueden cancelar.
First, if you use a special after attacking with a standard attack, the special won't come out until the move animation has finished. That makes sense, right?
Okay.
But here's what happens if you cancel out of it. At this moment here, if you've successfully entered a special command input,
Pues-
the rest of the animation will be cancelled,
para hacer
allowing you
combos.
to attack again immediately.
Ok.
I'll do that again. Throw out a kick like normal,
Y luego inmediatamente ves.
and once your leg extends, you'll perform the move.
Ok. Ok.
Set it up so that when you attack, you can go straight into a special. This will increase your offensive options. Please try this out. For example, neutral attack 1, 2, and power dunk.
Hola, verga.
This is a bread and butter combo. Aside from that, you can
Power
also get
dunk.
Terry to fly out and attack in an
Okay.
M shape. In his original game, you could only cancel attacks on the ground, but in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's possible to cancel aerial moves. The types of aerial attacks that you can cancel are limited to things like neutral air attacks or down air attacks. But I think it would be wise to use these combos to expand your offensive options. And at last,
Va a ser
the
Power
final smash.
Geyser.
His final smash
Power
begins
Geyser.
with triple geyser.
Sí, Triple Geyser.
Terry will shoot 3 geysers straight forward. However, if you think that's all, you're very mistaken.
A ver, pues. ¿Cómo en el juego?
As you can see, if triple geyser connects, you'll follow up with power dunk and Buster Wolf.
Basta,
It's 3 moves in 1. It's a visually striking combo. You may be wondering what happened to his original super special moves. Yes, they're here too. With the usual rules, when Terry's damage meter rises up to 100%
Oh,
or
whoa.
higher, and in stamina
Go.
mode, when his overall HP drops to 30% or less, you'll see this Go icon at the bottom of the screen. At this point, if you enter this specific command,
¡Hola, verga, huevo! Eso es lo que quería, es lo único que quería.
you can initiate the power
No hay
geyser
barra,
you
pero
see here.
está eso.
The command input is, if I borrow the way it's said in the original game, down, angle down, side, angle down, forward.
What the fuck? Soy
It's
soy
a
muy
bit
malo con los
complicated.
comandos.
Downward, then backward, then forward.
Me da risa con ese. Con el dedo.
It is an action game after all, so you get to control the direction of your punch, be it right or left.
Ok.
In that case, no matter which direction you're going for, just swap the right input and left input. It's like this: downward, then backward, then forward. Or down, and then the opposite direction if that's forward.
Ok.
And then there's his other super special move,
Ok. ¡Hola!
Buster Wolf.
Basta, Wolf, a huevo. A huevo,
You can
huevo.
initiate this one by repeating the Hadouken command input twice. Down to side, then down to side again.
No sé cómo hacer aquí ni arriba, así que no sé nada de...
It can
Por
be
lo
rather
mismo,
difficult to pull off
los
moves
comandos.
using the original game's command inputs, but you can also use simplified command inputs. In the case of Power Geyser, remember this: down, side, down, forward. As long as you input the command downward, to the side, to the back, downward
es tan
again,
difícil, no
and
se
then
los aprende
forward,
así.
you should be fine. In the case of Buster Wolf, it's simply down, side, side. That should be easier to remember. Even though the command input is complex, it can still be blocked with ease. Since these moves can only be used when Terry has taken a lot of damage, you'll be in even more
Oh, y
danger
no se gasta lo de
if your opponent
Go.
blocks.
O sea, mientras
So
estés arriba de
they're high risk and high
102%, de
return.
100%, Lo vas a tener
Please save
siempre.
them for when you really need to make a last-ditch
Creo,
effort.
no sé si gaste.
You can use it again and again, but be careful. Your
Como la
opponent
hora de
may be able
Lucario.
to predict your move and take action. Essentially, it's best to use it when it's least expected,
Se
or
puede
to
combinar.
cancel out of a combo, like this.
Oh, y salen fuegos artificiales con
For the taunts, I decided to match his original game. His up taunt is "Hey, come on, from the King of Fighters series. His down taunt spins his hat like in the Real Bout series. And his side taunt is "Stand Up" from Garo, Mark of the Wolves.
Garo.
I've demonstrated him using various special moves in the game so far, and you can hear his voice. Like that. We've incorporated both his longer remarks, like Power Wave, from older titles, and his shorter remarks, like Rock You, from newer titles. And here are his color variations. There's a good variety of colors available
Es que no es como,
across the series,
no hay nada como usar la
and the
original,
cap
güey,
design
el
is
rojo.
slightly different in each version.
Oh, tienen la cachucha diferente.
They're based on his original games, and we've
Voy a usar
also
el que diga
included
King of
some from
Fighters,
the King
King
of
of Fighters,
Fighters 14 and the anime series.
Bueno. Ok.
He sometimes takes off his cap too. For example, it happens during his victory pose. His cap also blows away when he is defeated in stamina mode.
A ver. ¿No? Ah, bueno. Stage.
The stage is called King of Fighters Stadium. It looks like one hardcore fighting coliseum. The text above the Jumbotron reads, King of Fighters, without the. When we talk about a game title, we need the up front, but the name of the tournament in the game's story is just King of Fighters. This is a very unique stage, and it follows some rules that haven't existed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before. First, the edge is walled off. In the Super Smash Bros. Series, you need to launch opponents off the stage.
Y ahí no se
Here,
puede.
however, the more damage a fighter has accumulated,
Ok.
the more the wall will visually react
¿Se va a
when
romper o
launched
qué?
into it. Can you see? Eventually,
Sí, se rompe. ¡Hola!
fighters will break right through the
Interesante,
wall.
interesante.
There are fireworks in the background. Basically, this special feature allows you to KO an opponent
Entonces no
only
le puedes
after
hacer chis a tus
accumulating
enemigos
enough damage.
y ponerte la esquina y lanzarlos a 0%.
That way, you can enjoy the battle more like you would in a traditional fighting game.
Eso me gusta.
When you're close to the wall, it's possible to be KO'd even when your damage is
Oh,
low.
no, entonces
It's just like in regular stages. In the Real Bout Fatal Fury series, there was a feature in which the walls could be destroyed and players could suffer a ring out when they hit the wall. This isn't exactly the same, but we made it kind of similar to that. We hope you'll enjoy playing at this stage with all its special rules.
No lo viste.
By the way, there are guest characters in the background, right? Since we have the opportunity, I'd like to introduce them to you.
Ok, cambiamos.
First up, Andy Bogard. He's the adoptive brother of Terry Bogard. Both of them were adopted from an orphanage and raised by Jeff Bogard. However, while Terry's teacher was Jeff Bogard, Andy studied under Mai Shiranui's father. He uses the Koppoken fighting style. Joe Higashi. He's one of the three main characters from earlier games in the Fatal Fury series. He's the only one that doesn't have any connection to Geese Howard. He's a Muay Thai champion. Tung Fu Ru. He's the master of the Holy Fist of 8 Ways, and he also trained Jeff Bogard. He can enlarge his body as well. Billy Kane. He's been in many Fatal Fury games since the first one, and he's the right-hand man of Geese Howard. While he appears in the first game, his costume is based on his appearances in King of Fighters 97 onwards. You can't really see his back, but the no smoking symbol is definitely there. Geese Howard. He's the big boss of Southtown. And he's the rival of Terry Bogard. Falling off of buildings is his thing. Rock Howard. His first appearance was Garo, Mark of the Wolves. He's the son of
¿Qué
Geese
pedo con ese
Howard,
pose?
and Terry actually raised him. That means his appearance in this game at this age with that look doesn't really jive with the timeline, but Smash is kind of like that to begin with, right? Kim Kapwan. He uses Taekwondo and considers himself a fighter for justice. His Ho'okyaku is very famous. Ryuji Yamazaki. His first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3, and he's a criminal dark broker. He's very selfish and sadistic. Blue Mary. Her first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3 too. She uses combat sambo, and she's a good drinking buddy of Terry's. Those were the characters from the Fatal Fury series, but from here on, let me introduce characters from other series. Athena Asamiya. She's a Psycho Soldier. Psycho Soldier is a memorable game released around 1986, and it was the first title to feature a fully voiced theme song within the game. This epic song was also remixed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it was recorded in both Japanese and English. Music start. Kyo Kusanagi. He's the protagonist of the King of Fighters series, and he uses the ancient martial arts Kusanagi-ryu. Speaking of the protagonist, there are differences depending on which version you're talking about, like Orochi and Nest. Anyway, he is forever a school kid. Iori Yagami. Originally, he was introduced as Kyo Kusanagi's rival, but when I first saw this character in the game at the time, due to his look and attitude, I thought whoever created this character is a genius. Goro Daimon. He's a judo gold medalist belonging to the Japanese team, and he likes to throw his opponents. Chang Hohen and Choi Bonge. One is an escaped convict, and the other is a slasher. They are currently undergoing rehabilitation under the previously mentioned Kim Kapwan. Ralph Jones and Clark Still. Originally, they were main characters in the Ikari Warriors series before Neo Geo. They appeared as guests in the Metal Slug series too. Ryo Sakazaki, the protagonist of Art of Fighting. The original Art of Fighting was released just before Fatal Fury 2. That means it was the first game to implement a true super special move. How could I not include him? King. Her first appearance was in Art of Fighting, and she's a bouncer and bodyguard. She is a beautiful woman with an androgynous sense of style. Next, Yuri Sakazaki. She was kidnapped in the first Art of Fighting game, but after that, she trained hard and mastered Kyokugen Karate in just 1 year. In other words, she's a genius. So, as you can see, we've included many characters, a total of 20 characters. You know, it's very cumbersome. I mean, it takes a lot of time. But so many people love each and every one of these characters, even outside the confines of their individual series, so we simply had to do our best by them. By the way, you may have noticed that a very important character from the Fatal Fury series was not included. Yes, Mai Shiranui. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is for good boys and girls of many different ages, so we decided not to feature her. Please forgive us. Also, my music features a variety of tracks, and the music that plays affects which special guests will appear. For example, there's a track called Pasta, and when the music is playing, Andy Bogard will always appear. I hope you look forward to that as well.
Una batalla. ¿Va a jugar él o qué?
Okay,
con dos controles acá, como siempre.
So now let's jump into some actual battles.
A ver cómo juega el Sakurai.
This time I'm going to play the Terry route of Classic mode.
Classic mode.
On top of that, I want to try and hit the highest intensity level. Let's see if I can get all the way up to intensity 9.9. Honestly, playing the game in extreme difficulty while doing commentary is extremely hard. One or the other is doable, but doing both at once forces me to divide my attention. But that means I should do my best at both. I'll do my best. First, this route is named the King of Smash. 3 characters who have some sort of connection will appear as a set, a challenge that looks somehow familiar. Okay, the first intensity level is 5.0, so I should be fine. All battles in Terry's route are stamina battles. This stage's special KO rule that I talked about earlier isn't the best match for stamina rules, but oh well. On his route, a lot of stages feel like they're from a traditional fighting game.
Espero que esté perro de usar el
Okay,
el
I did it
terra.
anyway.
Que no sea low tier o... Que sea por lo menos... no sé.
Of course, even in this mode, it's not impossible for me to try for a KO.
Que sea high tier.
But normally,
güey.
it'll be over before then.
O arriba de mid tier.
There. Done. Looks like he's saying, give me something. Next, round 2. It's the Legend of Zelda team. Just because characters are in a team because of their similarities, that doesn't mean that they have to be from the same game. This is Let's Go to Seoul, Kim Kapwan's theme. And I've got it set up so that we don't move from the bottom of Prison Tower.
Okay,
It would be easiest to simply knock him off the screen, but I'm not going to do that, because it's not as fun to watch. Oops, I knocked him off. Over here.
Come on, come on.
It's gonna blow. Will he do it? Alright. The boomerang's not coming back,
Último.
and I can't go to the edge. Oh no!
Casi la mato de nuevo. Come on, come on.
The tables have turned. Cancelled it. He wears his cap backward when he does a power dunk.
Okay.
Now you could call this the giant stage. All the giants are lined up. Of course, the music track is Taku and Kitepi. Of course, he says. You might wonder who Taku and Kitepi are. But it seems like it means Tanaka and Kitamura. This track is from Fatal Fury 2. There's a giant wrestler named Big Bear, and this is his track. Regardless of the track name,
¿Y si sabe
it's a
jugar
really
Sakurai?
famous hard rock song. So please give it a listen. The original song was called Yusha Raiden. There's that masked wrestler.
Con razón dura 48 minutos el directo.
Big Bear is his true identity. He's called Raiden.
Pensé que había sido un Spike. Sería perro que
Jump!
el Power Dunk, que se llama literalmente Power
I'm beginning
Dunk,
to find the
o sea,
intensity
clavada.
quite tough.
Estoy acordado
Round
que
4.
en el aire
The whole atmosphere is a
Sería un
little
spike.
different than how it's been up until now, right?
fueron un Spike.
We've been to arena-style flat stages, but suddenly we're at a battlefield form stage.
Le que
Oh, there's an item.
What?
There's an arcade game series called Athena, and this stage uses that as a motif. Oh, he's metal.
¿Cuándo saldrá?
Now
güey?
that I'm thinking about
¿Saldrá
it,
hoy, güey?
I suppose both Lady Palutena and the Athena games were possibly an homage to the Athena of Greek mythology. Plus, I wanted to do something where two characters who are similar or have similar abilities are together. It's a nice Kokugenryu team. If I let my guard down, I'll easily be defeated, so I need to pay attention. Not bad, you.
No, güey, tiene 128 de salud.
By the way, you can use moves like crack shoot to aim for overhead platforms, so they have some utility to them. I kept her in
No,
check.
si estuviera rotísimo,
That was
si,
close.
si el Power Dunk
Looks like that firebar
a la
didn't work
orillita
out for her.
fueron Spike. Si hubiera roto eso. Power Dunk.
It's getting brutal. The intensity is close to 8. You could say the opposing team is comprised of heroes from different companies. Sonic and Terry are on the stage. Actually, Sonic and Terry were both created in 91, so they're the same age.
91.
And the next year, in 92, Kirby was born. Everyone's getting old. But they're still on active duty.
Speedo.
You know, it's easier to fight on sloped ground. When using crack shoot, it's especially easy going uphill. Yikes. It's too soon to be taking this much damage. I started out with 150 HP, so I feel like I'm losing. Next, Mega Man. He was born in '87. The first Street Fighter came out in '87 as well, so that makes Ryu the same age. That was bad. Don't go off screen. Ah, he went off. I'm sorry. And now, Pac-Man from 1980 is here. Of course, this character was made by Bandai Namco Studios, but when I talk to their team, I'll call him your company's character. They always come back saying, oh yeah, our company's character. I often have these kinds of exchanges with them. Oh, that was close.
Oh.
But I won't give in until the very end. Because I've got a super special move.
Hello, bestia.
How was that? Not enough? I see. Well, how about now?
Hola, bestia. Eso se ve un perro.
It's bad to keep using the same move. Seriously. Next, you could call this Team Darkness.
Okay.
With the track Soy Sauce for Geese, playing on the rooftop, it's got the aura of a final showdown.
¿Cuándo revelarán el quinto DLC, güey?
Oh, not good.
¿Y quién será, güey?
Up next is Ganondorf.
Yo creo que lo van a revelar en diciembre. Espero, si es que ahorita no lo revelan. Lo van a revelar en diciembre. Y va a salir como en febrero, enero-febrero. Lo bueno es que hay otro. Va a salir un segundo paquete de DLCs, güey. Y espero con todo mi corazón que Sora.
Alright, can I do this without getting hit?
Que metan a Sora, güey. O sea,
now for a scary one.
Es lo único que quiero en el mundo. Esa bayoneta, güey. Esa bayoneta. ¿Cómo la nerfearon?
Oh, that was just dangerous.
Pero qué bueno, la neta. Que haya gordo.
Pulling off that mid-air jump was risky. Uh-oh. She's so good.
That was
a beautiful move.
Después de nerfearla, dice, she's so good.
Like, but she couldn't take advantage of that opportunity. That will cost her a lot. Time for the final battle. It's not Master Hand, but Ryu, Ken, and then Terry.
Okay.
Art of Fighting version 230000000.0 is playing. In other words, it's kind of a themed fight. He's super strong, so I have to work hard. I'm not pacing this out very well. I'm starting from 150 HP, so I wish I defeated Ryu before my HP dropped to 100. But I can't give up until the end. I have a super special move. But Terry is last, so he can use the same super special move. But this is no time for chit-chat. It's really tough doing this while talking. Oh no! This is no good. Got it. It gets even tougher from here.
Okay, Terry azul.
I messed up a perfect shield.
Perfect shield or parry?
Here he comes. I've got to be on guard. Yeah, but with a power wave?
With a power wave?
If I could have pulled off a super special move, that would have been awesome. But, alright, did I make it to Intensity 9.9?
Con power wave.
Yes, I did. That was hard work.
Incredible.
Terry Bogard is really fun to play as, so I hope you enjoy playing as him in such situations.
Okay. Canciones.
Next, let's talk about the music. This time we have something very special lined up for you. For instance, when we were deciding which songs to include in this set, we thought about concentrating on songs related to Terry, but there were a lot of big band style songs that didn't really fit the mood of battle. That aside, the music of SNK has always been great, right from the beginning. So this time, we selected tracks that could be called SNK style. Basically, we expanded the selection of them to include series outside of this Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters. SNK songs have always been great, really. This was true before Neo Geo, and all the way from the old The King of Fighters games to the arrangements in the latest installment, The King of Fighters 14. We did a lot of digging around, and finally managed to narrow our many candidates down to 50 songs. We never intended to do something like this, of course. So we submitted our 50 proposals to SNK, expecting them to pick out maybe 10 or 20 that they considered acceptable. But they told us they were okay. As a result, we've pretty much added in 50 songs.
What? 50.
Have a look at the list.
Bueno, tal vez
That's how we
porque no,
ended
no
up with
pesa
the list
tanto
we
una
have, but
canción.
we worked hard to deliver some of the
Pues
best
entonces hubieran
remixes.
metido
This was a very special
canciones
one-off
de
case, and I
Final
don't think we'll be
Fantasy
able to do
VII,
the
no
same
sé,
for other
güey.
series. To be honest, I think that being able to hear such a selection might make the Fighter's Pass worth quite a bit more than its price.
Hasta de Metal Slug había.
I do hope you'll enjoy it.
O sea que no van a meter ningún personaje de Metal
Challenger
Slug.
Pack 4 comes with a Spirit board too.
Okay.
The Spirit board can be selected via the Spirits menu.
Yori, güey.
Have a look at the background. If it looks familiar to you, you'll start feeling pretty nostalgic. Shinkiro-san's artwork is always so nice and vibrant, isn't it? You can also look forward to mock tournaments featuring each of the characters.
Oh,
That old school Athena and Ralph and Clark artwork really is something.
el fondo, güey.
Now for the Mii Fighters. Please have a look.
Mii Fighters. Aquí empieza la verdad. ¿Quién queda afuera? Por favor, que no se Sora. O van a ser de King of Fighters. Ok. Ah, ok. Pensé que era otra persona. Por favor, güey. Ahora Fighting. ¿Qué? Ah, ok, Río. Tenían que mencionarlo, ¿sabes? Fue como el primero de todos. The King of Fighters. Yori, güey. No. Fuck. Se hay un pedazo. Virtua Fighter. Van a ser de puro de pelea. Akira. Jackie. Ok. Debe de haber algo más, güey. Faltan 5 minutos.
SNK was also involved with the Mii Fighter set this time, so it has a strong fighting game influence. It borrows a lot from the series Nakoruru comes from, like her wind slash attack, so I hope you'll enjoy those little details. Moving on to Amiibo, here's the new lineup.
Amigo. Incineroar, Chrom,
Simon,
y
Chrom,
Simon.
and Incineroar. Each of these will be released on Friday, November 15th.
Hola, mi estómago. Tengo hambre.
Next, let's discuss the details of the updates. We've made some improvements to battle arenas.
Ah, a ver.
First, we're making it so you can send messages to each other in a battle arena. The messages are preset.
La neta,
So there's that,
faltaba eso.
and
güey.
also, the player who created the arena can now change the rules.
Ah, ok.
We've also added the option to play either Battlefield form or Omega form at random in the stage settings. Aside from that, you can now pick Elite only as an arena type.
Elite.
Furthermore, Quick Play won't be the only way to play with people you don't know. As long as the arena type is set to public and no password is set, we've made it so anyone is now free to join.
This is Elite.
So I hope you'll enjoy that. Terry is due for distribution on November 6th. If you have the Fighter's
November
Pass, you'll be
6th,
able to
hoy.
get him straight away, or you can purchase him
O sea,
separately.
ya lo pudiera estar jugando.
Well, I think that wraps it up for our Terry Bogard showcase. I hope we were able to convey his appeal. By the way, his reveal trailer was aired in advance. It was created using SNK pixel art. The complete version of it, including the gameplay portion, is finally ready. I'd like to show it to you after this.
Complete version.
Now this is something of an inside story, but I of course wrote the plot for
Sí,
SNK's
sí,
pixel
¿no?
art packed reveal
Sí, sí.
trailer. When the invitation comes out, you might recall how it says, "Don't be late, S." That is not what I wrote. It makes me think, ugh, this is why I hate inside jokes. After leaving it to the staff, it snuck its way in there. I just want you to know that the S is also the Super Smash Bros. Series S. Well then, let's move on to the intro movie.
Ese Sakurai y sus chistes. A ver el trailer. Ok, es el mismo que, pero más largo. Como full version. Sí, güey, ahí fue cuando tío agarró, pero no la agarró. La mano de tío esa. Ni modo, tío, para la próxima. Río. Ya lo habrán agregado. Tú estás en Tekken, cabrón. Ah, va a meter gameplay entonces, sí va a haber gameplay. No debieron de meter esto primero antes de mostrar, antes de todo lo demás. ¿Cómo? La gorra de Kirby. Deberían de... Debieron de hacer esto, de poner este trailer antes, al principio, empezando el directo. ¿Y ya? Sí, güey, ya. No van a mostrar nada.
We crammed in a little too much content this time. Hopefully, I'll be able to make future showcases a little shorter.
Ya sé, 1 hora, güey, a la verga. Casi 1 hora. Entiendo. Pues ahí está, no manches, duró casi 1 hora este video. Bueno, pues yo todavía confío que vayan a meter a Sora, güey. Sora, güey. Me voy a morir ese día, güey. Pero la neta, el próximo video que haga va a ser a Terry. Va a ser yo usando a Terry, metiéndolo al Elite Smash. O juego un torneo, no sé, güey, la neta. El punto es probarlo. Siento que su recuperación va a ser muy mala, güey. Va a haber un chorro de personas que se van a suicidar con esa ¿qué era? Backkick. No sé, esa madre. Pinche patada giratoria, güey. Pero bueno, entonces nos vemos para el próximo video. Sale.